This, ladies and gentlemen, is my brand new Land Rover Defender 90. And this is a Defender that is screaming out to be modified, which is why I've decided to spend some cash and buy a load of parts, many of which from Urban Automotive, and transform this Defender into my dream spec. So that means I'm going to be taking down this Defender to 360 Alloys Bodyshop to see if they can take on the challenge of transforming this Defender in just one day. This is currently how the car looks. It's not bad, but it could be better, which is where Urban Automotive comes in for me. I've been following these guys for years and I love the work that they do. And the car which inspired me to buy one was Romeo Beckham's, a fully blacked out Defender 90 with all the toys, including the 23-inch UC6 alloy wheels. Now today, we are going to transform my Defender over with the guys at 360 Alloy Wheels and Body Shop, and I'm not going down the traditional blacked out gangster look. I'm going to try something new, something everyone told me not to do. So let's get into exactly what modifications am I getting done to this Defender. Well, I've been on a bit of a shopping spree over the last couple of days, so let's start with the alloy wheels. I've bought some Urban UC6 wheels, 23-inch. Currently, they are in gloss black. Now, a lot of people probably prefer to have black wheels on a Defender, but as I said before, I want to be a bit different, maybe match it to the front and rear bumper trims. So I'm thinking to do them in a really bright silver, as it will just pop so nicely against the black car. And the type of wheels that they are, they've got so many intricate bits of detail on them, and a 23-inch wheel in silver, I think it will look 10 out of 10. Now with Urban, I also bought a couple of other parts. I got a premium rear wheel cover from them, and I also bought the Urban mud flaps. I also managed to source an Urban rear spoiler, which is second hand, but equally, does it matter? Not really. But unfortunately, I don't have it just yet, so temporarily, I'm gonna put on one of those other cheap spoilers you can buy, but once the Urban one arrives, I'll swap it over. Now, the remainder of parts which I bought for this car, they're not from Urban, so I bought a front roof light bar, and then I also bought some side steps online from eBay, very cheap, and the last thing which I bought is a cover which just slots over those rear lights to smoke them out. Now, I've test fitted them and they look so good. I cannot believe for the price, 20 quid or whatever they were, they're that good. But once we properly get them on the car, we can see if they look right or if it just looks a bit cheap. But that's all the modifications. We're on our way to 360 Alloys and Body Shop. I'm hoping they can smash all this out in one day. Doesn't seem like a big job, but these things take time because it's got to be done right. And doing things right is what 360 Alloys and Body Shop are known for doing. So let's start with the wheels. These have already been acid dipped from the day before and now are being sanded down to completely remove any imperfections and existing paint. Even though these wheels are brand new, the process is still exactly the same. Now we are putting them into the shot blast machine to make sure every last drop of paint has been removed, which will give us the best possible surface for the new paint to adhere to. That's the wheel shot blasted and ready for the next stage. Now we need to get the wheels hot. We need to pop them in the oven so they can get ready for the paint. And while that's going on, we have made a start on the centre caps, as these were also gloss black to begin with, and we're going silver. Now let's start powder coating these wheels. First, the guys are just blowing off any dust that could compromise the paint finish, which means we can now begin layering on the primer. Fast forward times 4, that's a set of wheels primered and now left in the oven to bake and cure. Not forgetting the centre caps, which have now been painted with its first coat of colour, looking pretty good. And now it's time to get the colour onto those wheels. I've actually gone for a sport silver, which consists of painting a flat silver to begin with and then a mist coat of metallic, which will give it that fleck, which you're going to see very soon. And finally, the last thing to do is blow off any dust particles, as these will show up like a sore thumb if we don't sort these now. And also start layering on the lacquer. And at first I did think this has gone terribly wrong with the white colour, but this will change later on, I promise. After around 25 minutes in the oven, it's time to get the finished goods out. And I mean, look at these. That is a serious alloy wheel. The shine, the finish, the metallic fleck in the paint, this is going to stand out big time. Now let's get the Defender inside and start the stripping and fitting of the new parts. The first step is for Matt to get these side steps fitted. It's actually a simple job but requires a few cuts to the plastic under the body, so we do need to heat it up as this helps soften the plastic ready for it to be cut. Now it just needs to be lined up and it's 4 bolts to be tightened, keeping it strong and in place. Looks pretty good to me. Next up is the mud flaps. It's well worth getting these in my opinion, they make a massive difference. But fitting these is a bit more tricky as you do need to carefully drill some holes into the panels. There is a stencil you can use to help which is available from Urban, but Matt is a pro with these and made it look easy. And I'm sure once we get the wide Urban wheels on to complement these flaps, it's going to look epic. Now we're going on to the front roof light bar, which is currently sat on the soft top on my Bentley. Yes, that car is still around, but that's going to be another video. Anyway, we need to clean up the surface as we will be using some strong adhesive as well as the existing 3M tape to keep this heavy light secure. Some trim pieces to be removed as we will be hiding the cables behind here. Partially pulling some of the peel away as this will give us some wiggle room. And we are also applying some sealant as I don't want this to be flying off on the M40. Well, let us know as well if you think this is
Yeah, if you place it down it should still move.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more. I decided not to feed the cables into the cabin as there is a small chance I may change this roof light, but for now it's a quick and easy installation. 2 cables, one going to a positive terminal and the other one going to a ground. And that is the roof light bar all fitted. The level of brightness on this is serious. Honestly, laser lamps all day over the basic LED lights. Now with the rear spoiler, this is a temporary fit as I have a genuine Urban spoiler arriving in a few days, but as I'm not very patient, I still fitted this one with some double-sided tape. The rear lights modification is a real gem. 20 odd quid from AliExpress or eBay, and they look so good once they're fitted. Such a simple but effective mod. And of course, we can't forget the rear wheel cover, probably one of the most standout modifications, but it's all beginning to tie in together. And I've saved the best for last, fitting these 23-inch UC6 wheels, absolute monster of a wheel for a Defender. These were actually made for the Range Rover, but I do think they're much more suited to the Defender. But we need to get the tyres fitted carefully, fit up the TPMS, and then get some air in the tyres before we can get it fitted. And even with the car jacked up, I can tell I've made the right choice with the colour and these wheels. And the final touch, putting on my private plate, year of birth and initials. It's been a while since it's been on a car. I mean, what a transformation we have done to this car. I cannot believe how good this thing looks. And honestly, the biggest risk I took was those silver UC6 wheels. They came in gloss black. Everyone told me, leave them as they are, don't do them silver. And I took my own advice and went against everyone, and look at those wheels now. They look absolutely fantastic, especially when it ties into all the other mods I've got done to the car. But I'll give you a close-up of all of those. But I thought, let me just walk you through the car right now, and you can just get a good feel of how this thing is looking. I mean, look at that side profile. Just a few modifications. Well, I say a few, we've obviously done more than a few things, but it has made a world of a difference. And let's start with that front, the non-black pack variant. So this is done in anthracite grey, as I mentioned earlier. And at first, I wasn't too sure if it was gonna work. But after seeing it with the wheels, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I think the front end with the anthracite grey is actually starting to work with the silver, and it makes it look a little bit different from all the other Urbans you see, or Defenders with the black pack. Now let's start with the mods. 23-inch UC6 Urban wheels, brand new. Big shout out to GB Wheels, because he was the guy that supplied these wheels to me as they were out of stock on Urban's website. Maybe they've been discontinued in the 23-inch because this is more of a Range Rover wheel, but I think it looks so much better on the Defender. Now, from the side profile, you can pretty much see most of the modifications which we've done to the car. So wheels, side steps, front roof light bar, rear spoiler, rear wheel cover, and mud flaps both on the front and rear. Now, the front roof light bar, it's not the cheap ones which you find on eBay for £300 with LED lights. I'll tell you now, these things are so bright, they literally can light up a football pitch. It is absolute chaos. Don't know how legal they would be to use them on the road or in a bit of road rage, but I'm sure we'll find out one day. Side steps, I picked them up on eBay, very cheap, £130 I want to say. They look fantastic, make a big difference to the side profile of the car. This is a high car. It doesn't have air suspension. It's on 23-inch, so if you're not quite as tall as me, then you would probably have difficulty getting into the car. That is a must, money well spent getting those things done. Mud flaps front and rear. Now I got these directly from Urban, a genuine part. They're not too expensive either, I think about £258, and they set off the car very, very nicely, especially on the rear because you've got the Urban branding. Now they are of course very similar to the original Land Rover ones if you were to get them from factory, but where I've gone for various Urban parts, wheels, wheel cover, rear spoiler and mud flaps, it all just ties in together and makes the car look a bit better, which brings me on to the other Urban parts, which is the rear wheel cover and the rear spoiler. Now I've had a little bit of an issue with this wheel cover. It does have some strange imperfections, which, you know, I wasn't too pleased about. However, but I got to give it to the team at Urban. They did say straight away, they held their hands up and they said, we'll get a new one sent out to you. So that'll be coming very, very soon. Rear spoiler, second hand, picked that up on eBay. Pretty lucky to find one of those second hand. But let me show you the best modification. These rear light covers, honestly, it is the best £22 I've ever spent in my life. I think it makes such a big difference to the car. I also put a private registration on the car, so 94HA, which is my date of birth and my initials. What a nice looking car. Defender 90 with some Urban parts, bit of eBay, bit of AliExpress. I think that's turned out pretty good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the transformation done on the Defender today. If you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know on what other things you'd like to see me do on the channel with this Defender. But on that note, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Take care, guys.